In 2006, in the quiet little town of Lugoff, South Carolina, a 14-year-old girl named Elizabeth Schoaf was walking home from school on an ordinary afternoon. But that ordinary day soon turned into the most terrifying and unbelievable chapter of her life. Because in just a moment, she would fall into a deadly trap, an abduction that shocked the entire nation. Today, we'll uncover how a young girl trapped in unimaginable fear and pain used her intelligence, courage, and patience to escape from the jaws of death, and how her real-life ordeal inspired this unbelievable true story movie. So, let's begin the chilling and inspiring story of Elizabeth Schoaf. The story begins by showing us a lovely girl named Elizabeth, who is 20 years old. She lives with her mother, father, and younger brother in a house near the jungle. Every day when she goes to college, she passes by the jungle. One day, after college is over, Elizabeth is returning home with her boyfriend and her female friend. Just then, her boyfriend's brother arrives in a car on the road. So, Elizabeth's boyfriend and her friend get into the car and leave, and Elizabeth starts walking home alone along the main road. Both sides of that road are covered with dense and deserted jungle. But little did she know that this path was about to become the most terrifying turning point of her life. She is walking forward when a man wearing a police uniform emerges from the jungle and calls her over. The man's name is Vincent. He speaks in a very stern tone. "I am a police officer. There is drug cultivation near your house, so I will have to take you for questioning." He puts handcuffs on both of Elizabeth's wrists and also ties a belt around her neck. Vincent says, "I have also arrested your younger brother, and I am taking you to him." Elizabeth gets nervous, but since Vincent introduced himself as a police officer, she does not resist. He starts taking Elizabeth through the jungle path. They both cross a small river and then proceed deeper into the jungle. Elizabeth does not want to go with him, but out of fear, she obeys him. Then, he makes her sit down in a spot in the jungle and says, "I am not a police officer, I have kidnapped you." He tells Elizabeth, "I want to be with you because I have developed feelings for you." Elizabeth is unable to comprehend what is happening to her. Vincent asks her, "Do you have a mobile phone?" She says, "No." Then, he starts asking Elizabeth some strange questions, such as whether she has had any physical relations with anyone. Elizabeth realizes that this man is a psychopath and is not mentally stable. Vincent then brings her to a spot in the middle of the jungle where he has built a secret underground bunker. He forcibly takes Elizabeth inside the bunker, and after entering himself, he closes the door. This bunker is constructed in a way that no one can see it from above because Vincent has covered it with leaves. There is only a small door to open the bunker. This bunker is like a small room with a bed inside. The place is quite dark. Vincent chains Elizabeth and says, "If you try to escape from here, the belt around your neck contains a bomb and it will blast. If you make any noise, I will kill you. So, it is better that you obey me." Elizabeth was now completely trapped, and she bursts into tears. Meanwhile, when Elizabeth's mother learns that her daughter has not returned home yet, she leaves all her work, comes home, and starts searching for her nearby. She also calls Elizabeth's friends, but no one knows anything, which makes her even more worried. With the help of Elizabeth's friend, she starts searching for her in the jungle. Elizabeth's younger brother also shouts her name loudly in the jungle, but there is no use. By night, when Elizabeth's parents fail to find their daughter, they call the police officer to their house and file a missing report for their daughter. The officer questions the neighbors around them and tries to find Elizabeth, but still nothing is found. The police do not take Elizabeth's case seriously because they think she might have gone to a friend's house or with her boyfriend and will return soon. But when Elizabeth does not return home the next day either, the police go to her college and talk to her female friend and boyfriend. Both of them say that they left her on the main road and went home themselves. After this, the police and Elizabeth's family search for her in the jungle. They search the jungle multiple times, but they do not find any clue related to Elizabeth. Meanwhile, Elizabeth has been locked inside the bunker for 2 days. She is very scared and frightened. Elizabeth is crying, remembering her family, and wants to run away from there. But Vincent tells her that she cannot go anywhere by running away from here because he has planted bombs all around outside. If her foot touches one of them, she will be killed. He further says, "Even if you escape from this jungle, I will go to your house and kill your younger brother." Hearing this, Elizabeth gets very scared. Vincent says, "Don't worry, everything will be all right." Then he gives Elizabeth noodles to eat, but she refuses to eat. Then he gets angry at her and threatens her. He says, "If you don't listen to me, I will have to hurt you, which I absolutely do not want to do." Vincent, who is mentally unstable, wants to control Elizabeth and stay with her in this bunker forever. He had already prepared for this, which is why the bunker had many necessary items like a TV, a toilet, a gas stove, and food supplies. Elizabeth now understood that if she wanted to get out of here safe and sound, she would have to obey Vincent. On the third day, when Elizabeth is eating noodles, she hears some noises from outside. Elizabeth's father, along with his friends, comes near the bunker while searching for her. Vincent covers Elizabeth's mouth with his hands and points the gun at her. But no one's eyes fall on the bunker's door because it is covered with dry leaves. In the evening, Vincent and Elizabeth watch the news on TV that the police are looking for Elizabeth and that her parents are extremely worried. Seeing this, Elizabeth feels very sad. The police were putting all their effort into finding Elizabeth. She was being searched day and night. The police were also keeping an eye on the jungle with a helicopter. When Vincent hears the sound of the helicopter, he uses something like aluminum foil to protect himself and Elizabeth from the heat detector, so the police cannot see them. On the fourth day, Vincent tells Elizabeth a false story about his life. He says, "I was married and loved my wife very much. But one day, she falsely accused me of trying to force myself on her. That's why the police came after me, and I built this bunker to hide. I wanted to bring my wife here to punish her, but she had already left the country. Then I saw you, Elizabeth, and I fell in love with you. That's why I brought you here." Vincent has a fake gun which cannot kill anyone but can injure people. Vincent physically and mentally tortures Elizabeth. He keeps her scared so that she does not leave him and go anywhere. But Elizabeth does not give up. She knows that if she wants to survive, she has to understand this man's mind. Now she starts talking nicely to Vincent and tries to understand him. It had been 5 days, and Elizabeth had not been found. At night, when Vincent is sleeping next to her, Elizabeth slowly starts to get up from the bed without making any noise. She sees Vincent's gun kept on the table in front. She reaches out her hand to take it, but a chain is tied around Elizabeth's neck. Due to this, despite her best efforts, she cannot reach the gun. Just then, Vincent's eyes open. He asks Elizabeth, "What are you doing?" Elizabeth replies, "I need to use the restroom." To gain his trust, Elizabeth puts her hands on his feet and says, "I am starting to fall in love with you," and she has to let Vincent get close to her to save her life. Now, Elizabeth has been living in this bunker for 6 days. She starts convincing Vincent that she wants to stay with him. Slowly, Vincent also starts trusting her that she will always remain in the bunker with him. With this trust, Vincent removes the chain from her neck and even teaches her how to operate his fake gun. At night, Vincent takes Elizabeth out of the bunker. Elizabeth's hands are tied with handcuffs. Vincent takes her near an old car where food supplies are kept. Elizabeth asks him, "Who brings the food supplies?" Vincent does not answer anything. Just then, the sound of a helicopter comes from above. Seeing this, Vincent gets nervous and quickly starts taking Elizabeth back towards the bunker. Elizabeth intentionally removes one of her shoes so that the police can find a clue. After entering the bunker, Elizabeth finds out that Vincent also has a mobile phone. The next morning, when Vincent is sleeping, Elizabeth quietly takes his phone and types a message for her mother. But then she realizes that there is no network on the phone. She opens the bunker door slightly to try to get a signal, but it is no use. So, she deletes the message and puts the phone back. Then her eyes fall on Vincent's gun. She picks up the gun and puts it to Vincent's head. She knows that this gun is fake. She thinks that Vincent will not die but will definitely be injured. To injure him, she pulls the trigger. But the gun jams. Elizabeth gets very angry and puts the gun back in its place. Then she becomes very sad, remembering her parents, and wonders if she will ever be able to get out of here. Now, Elizabeth has been here for 7 days, and the police had not found anything about her. Due to this, Elizabeth's friends and police officers started feeling that she might not even be alive. On the 8th day, when Vincent checks the gun, he sees that the gun is jammed. He angrily asks Elizabeth, "Did you touch my gun?" Elizabeth replies very calmly, "No." Then she holds Vincent's hand and puts it on her cheek, which makes Vincent trust her again. Meanwhile, the police were about to stop searching for Elizabeth because no trace of her had been found until now. But the message that Elizabeth had sent to her mother and deleted due to no signal somehow reaches her mother's phone. The message read that she was locked up by a man in an underground bunker built in the middle of the jungle near her house. Seeing this, Elizabeth's mother and father become very emotional, and a ray of hope awakens in them. They immediately call the police and show them the message. Initially, the officers do not take the message seriously because they think it might be a joke or a prank. But Elizabeth's mother says, "My daughter wrote her name as Lisa in this message. Only the family knows this name and no one else." When the sheriff arrives, he takes this message seriously, and the number from which the message was sent to Elizabeth's mother is tracked. The next day, the police arrive at a woman's house because the phone had been bought in that woman's name 3 weeks ago. They learn from the woman that she is Vincent's ex-girlfriend. She says that she broke up with him and hasn't met him for many years. The woman says, "He messages me from time to time, and I leave food supplies in a car near the jungle." The woman takes the police to that car and says that she does not know where Vincent goes with the food supplies. The police find an old bunker under that woman's house, where Vincent used to hide from the police before. In fact, Vincent already had cases of kidnapping and illegal activities registered against him, and the police had been looking for him for a long time, but he was never caught. Here, the police were convinced that Vincent was behind Elizabeth's kidnapping. The sheriff spreads the news of this message to the media because he knows that Vincent is dangerous but also a coward. If he gets the news that the police are after him, he will run away to save his life. There was a risk in this, but Vincent had left such victims before. When Vincent sees the news on TV that the police have found out that he kidnapped Elizabeth and hid her in the bunker, he panics. He yells at Elizabeth, "Why did you message your mother about us? I thought you loved me." Elizabeth tries to convince him and says, "Trust me. I didn't send any message from your phone. If you want, check the phone yourself." She says, "This is a ploy by the police. They are doing this to catch you." Vincent checks the phone, but he does not find any message to her mother because Elizabeth had already deleted the message. Vincent becomes extremely upset. He feels that the police will soon come and arrest him. Elizabeth now starts to manipulate him. She says, "I love you, but if the police see us together, you will have to go to jail. So, you should run away now. When everything calms down, you come back. I will wait for you in this bunker until then. Then we both will go and live in another city." Vincent believes her words and runs out of the bunker. After he leaves, Elizabeth opens the bunker door and comes out. But she is afraid that there might be bombs near the bunker. Just then, she hears the voice of the police searching for her in the jungle. She calls out to them. The police hear her voice and reach the spot, and here we find out that Vincent had placed a fake bomb to scare her. Then the police safely rescue Elizabeth from the bunker and bring her to her house. Elizabeth's family cries seeing her and hugs her. Finally, Elizabeth emerged from that hell after 10 days, and she was very happy to reunite with her family. A few days later, the police arrest Vincent and the court sentences him to 421 years for illegal activities, kidnapping, and other crimes. Meanwhile, Elizabeth is slowly recovering from the trauma. The way Elizabeth showed patience and cleverness in front of a psychopath is an example for everyone, and the film ends here. If you were in Elizabeth's place, what would you have done to save yourself from this situation?